With it revealed how much WWE offered to sign Chris Jericho and Braun Strowman's talks with AEW revealed, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for October 4th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Speaking about Cody Rhodes getting booed last month during the Grand Slam event, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast that Rhodes turning heel could get him the best reaction in the world. I'm not sure exactly what the reaction meant or anything like that, but I do know this. In this business, you got good heat, you got bad heat, you got go away heat, and I don't know which one was that. I don't know if I don't know if Cody Rhodes did anything on TV to become a heel. I know everything Cody's been doing on TV as far as AEW has been pretty liking towards what the fans would want, I think. I could be wrong. Haven't been watching every show or anything like that. But to get that kind of reaction, there again, it could be the best reaction in the world if he's gonna be that heel that people are gonna love to hate. Again, I don't know if that's what it was. I don't know if it was go away like, man, now you're Hollywood, and you're at the pot calling the kettle black. One of these types of deals. I don't know. We'll see in the end, as far as how this thing plays out. At the East Coast Autograph Auctions virtual signing, Lana was asked about her WWE name, where she mentioned that the company does not own it. I own that. Owning Lana is like owning the name Mike. You can't. In my contract, they own Rusev because it's so specific, but they don't own Lana because you can't. I would rather come out as Lana because at the end of the day, I would rather just not come out with my real name. Seeing as though it's been more than 90 days since her release, she could join her husband in AEW. Following her AEW debut, Ruby Soho earned an opportunity for a title shot and faced Britt Baker for the women's belt during the main event of Dynamite Grand Slam. Many enjoyed this bout, including Jim Cornette, as he noted on his podcast. Obviously, this was not as good as Danielson and Omega, wasn't as good as the Punk interview, and it wasn't as good a match as FTR and Sting. He's an icon or whatever. It was a tough spot to put them in to follow the rest of the show. And but it was a good girls match. It wasn't as good as the other stuff that because it's not gonna be. But not only compared to the girls matches that they were having on AEW for a long time when they started, but for most of the girls matches that we've seen in WWE, this was a higher level girls match than we've been looking at lately. While he has incredible talent in the ring, Ricochet is not at the best time on the WWE main roster. With the draft picks continuing tonight on Raw, he spoke on the With Authority podcast, saying he's set on making an impact after not having much to do. That's exactly what I'm here waiting on right now. I haven't been really doing much for the past 5 weeks. We're just waiting, buying our time, waiting for the right moment and stuff. I'm super excited for the draft. I'm gonna wait for that. I don't really have a specific brand I'm hoping to be on. For me, wherever I land, I know that at that moment I have to make an impact wherever I'm at. People all the time tell me, I want to see you, I want to see you. I get that a lot, so I'm just waiting for my opportunity to strike, I guess. I'm ready to make an impact. After 4 years on NXT, Bobby Fish was let go by WWE earlier this year. He turned up in MLW and is advertised to make his AEW debut against Sammy Guevara. On Busted Open Radio, he touched on needing this change in pace. I feel like I was ready in my career for a fresh coat of paint, so to speak, and here we are. It wasn't orchestrated and I didn't seek it out. Some things fell into place and it just happened, and I have this kind of new lease on my wrestling life, and I can't wait to go at this thing guns blazing, and Saturday was the start of that. I feel I've kind of already got that ball rolling, but we're ready to keep it rolling and kind of accelerate everything. With him going after the TNT title this week, Fish looks set to make his mark in AEW. Cowboy James Storm was set to wrestle for the Heroes and Legend Wrestling event, but plans changed when he found out he wouldn't be getting paid. As a Facebook post reads, "How do you become a class act? Be like James Storm. Heroes and Legend Wrestling brought him in to appear and wrestle last night. Well, they didn't want to pay him to wrestle, so he grabs his beers and hung out with us in the stands. Even took a disabled kid to the back to meet the boys. Be like the Cowboy." Goldberg is expected to make his return to WWE as he looks set to face former WWE champion Bobby Lashley at the Crown Jewel event. On Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that Goldberg must be on the big show in Saudi Arabia due to a special deal. The other match that is going to be there is Lashley and Bill Goldberg, because that one won't be put on TV because Goldberg does have a specific deal with these Saudi shows that is very lucrative, and if you were going to pull his match to put it on TV, he wouldn't be happy at all. That's millions of dollars of difference. It's not like all the other guys who are going to get paid the same whether they're on the show. With him returning to face the former champion, it seems likely that after he's done with Lashley, Goldberg will set his sights on the current champion Big E. Following their release from WWE in April of last year, Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett ended up in Ring of Honor. On the Battleground podcast, Maria was asked if she'd return to wrestling in ROH, making it clear she has no intention of doing so at this time. "Probably not. I'm not in that place right now. I was asked a ton while the tournament was going on, and even after I was released from WWE to get back out there and wrestle. I don't know why anybody wants to see me wrestle, but they do. I've been asked a lot. I want the focus to remain on the division, and I just don't think now's the time for that. As soon as you start wrestling again, people are like, when are you going to get the title? That muddies the water too much. No thank you, I'm all set." Former NXT roster member Matt Riddle touched on the changes brought to the brand on After the Bell, noting that he's not sure if they needed the 2.0 moniker. "I like the colors, I like the colorfulness, but I don't know about the 2.0. I don't think they needed the 2.0, but hey, I get it. We've evolved to the next level of NXT. I like it. I feel like right now they're doing a great job of catering and pushing newer talent. Instead of getting guys with huge independent reputations and just putting them in the forefront, it's really good that they're building stars. At the very least, the USA Network is said to be pleased with the changes on NXT, as we'll have to see how this new era pans out for the brand. With his 90-day non-compete clause up, former WWE star Braun Strowman is now able to sign and appear for another wrestling promotion. Fightful noted that he's got interest from two companies. There have been talks between Cher and All Elite Wrestling, but of recent weeks we've actually heard that Impact is heavily interested in bringing in the former Universal Champion. Rumor has it that Strowman will end up in Impact, with the company also interested in his former stablemate Bray Wyatt, as his non-compete should be up by the 29th. With the draft wrapping up tonight on Raw, Dave Meltzer has noted a pick that could be a spoiler. If Charlotte Flair got drafted, then Becky Lynch is probably going to be on Raw, because they want to keep them split up. You know, they have this 3-week period where people can lose their belts, which, by the way, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but Swerve Scott is NXT North American too. Of course, this would mean that the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions are on opposing brands, which could lead to the company simply having them trade titles. This week on Dynamite, there will be a casino ladder match where Tony Khan has said there will be a surprise Joker entrance, with the winner getting a world title shot. Former WWE star Buddy Mathews recently took to Twitter to post a Joker emoji, as he deleted it soon after. It should be noted that AEW reportedly passed on signing Murphy, so it seems unlikely that he will be debuting for the company. Taking a trip down memory lane on his podcast, Jim Ross touched on Chris Jericho first signing with WWE after coming over from WCW in '99. It was secret only from the standpoint that we wanted to keep the official romancing off the radar. If we can bring him in as a surprise, it would be even better for him, and that's what happened in Chicago with that countdown clock. I didn't know what to expect when we met. I knew that the groundwork had been laid. Vince was just fine with the meeting we had in Tampa. I wanted to sit down and ask Chris, what do you think of the meeting? How can we make this work? What can we do to get you on the team? What do you need? Because I'll tell you, I can't pay you what they're offering. There's no way in hell. We can sit here and talk all day long. We can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, and it's not going to change. The issue is that the offer we gave him was a lot of money. $450,000 is a good starting salary. I thought we were being very fair. The key component of that was convincing him that our incentive program, in other words, getting paid on the house, old school commission so to speak, payoff was real. Without naming names, I gave him some illustrations of this guy has a $300,000 downside, but last year he made $1.8 million. At one time we had 20 something guys on our roster that were making over $1 million. That's incredible. They got that $1 million number by productivity. They sold tickets, pay-per-views, and merchandise. I think that was part of the only hurdle we had to overcome, that it was really a true payoff system. We had a great meeting. He, Jerry, and I, he was a fan of the Briscoes and a student of the game. We both loved him. We both thought he can work heel or babyface. We loved the fact that he was durable. It was a great meeting. Soon thereafter, guess what? We signed him. When his contract was over, he did not renew there at WCW. We closed the deal very quickly. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.